Well, guys, this is an interesting one, isn't it? I imagine you're all familiar with the fact that TikTok's currently on the chopping block. Both Democrats and Republicans want to ban it. Well, I think it's important for us to distinguish between the reasons why these two groups agree on this one thing. Whether you agree with the idea that TikTok should be banned or not, that's a whole different question. But the Democrats seem to be motivated by information that is coming from our defense departments that has shown definitively that, much like many other products that have been banned in America before that are from China, TikTok has a direct back-end connection to China's government and to its military. A foreign power that is kind of adversarial to us, you know? This isn't a great thing. Our defense departments are worried that, for example, let's say you've got the President of the United States, just for the sake of example, and that president has a kid, and that kid has TikTok. Guess what? Your phone, whether you like it or not, has constant locational data on where you are. It's how you use your GPS. It's how you, find out where you want to go and then follow, the directions on your phone. It always knows where you are. It's how Pokemon Go knows where you are. It's how, when you post on a social media app, it knows where your location was if you asks you, do you want to include your location, right? That means China, with how prolific TikTok is, China has access to millions and millions and millions of GPS trackers in the pockets of Americans across the country. They can see a population density map. They can see live updates of where the president is if their kid has TikTok on their phone and is near the president. There are very valid reasons to be concerned about national security and the app TikTok. Don't get me wrong. Here's the thing, though. The Republicans just revealed that they have very different motivations. The Democrats have their reasons, and the Republicans have very different reasons for why they agree with the Democrats on this. Mitt Romney reveals twisted reason why Congress moved to ban TikTok. Utah Senator Mitt Romney revealed the motivation for the bipartisan consensus to ban TikTok, and it has little to do with protecting users' data. Speaking at the McCain Institute on Friday alongside Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, Romney lamented Israel's inability to control the flow of information out of and about Gaza, despite its best efforts to restrict press access. I mean, typically the Israelis are good at PR. What's happened here? How have they and we been so ineffective at communicating the realities and their realities there and our point of view? Romney asked Blinken, seemingly to disbelief that images of Israel's indiscriminate bombings of Gaza have prompted outrage in the United States. That's right. Republicans are like, wait, what? How is Israel not keeping their PR up here? Not how is Israel doing this? It's how is Israel not doing good PR here? How are we not doing good PR here for Israel? Jesus. When Romney explained that the TikTok ban overwhelmingly passed both chambers of Congress because of the widespread Palestinian advocacy on the app, quote, "Some wonder why there was such overwhelming support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites, it's overwhelmingly so among TikTok broadcasts. So I'd note that's of real interest, and the president will get the chance to take action in that regard," Romney said. That's right. Romney outright said that this is, for Republicans, about reducing the amount of access young people or Americans in general have to pro-Palestine, pro-Gaza content, which is, of course, very common on TikTok. We actually have a direct video right here. It is very grainy, but it should level out in a second when Twitter stops being shit.
Why has the PR been so awful? I know that's not your area of expertise, but you have
God, that's loud.
Have some thoughts on that, which is, I mean, as you've said, why has Hamas disappeared in terms of public perception? An offer is on the table to have a ceasefire, and yet the world is screaming about Israel. It's like, why aren't they screaming about Hamas? Accept the ceasefire, bring home the hostages. It said it's all the other way around. I mean, typically the Israelis are good.
He's actually upset. He's actually really upset that they can't keep the PR up for Israel. That Israel's making itself look bad, and nothing can stop people from seeing it. Excuse me for the burp, by the way. He's really upset about it. How much money do you think Romney gets paid by AIPAC? I really wonder about that. I wonder what his yearly salary is from AIPAC, the American Israel Public Affairs Committee, for those unaware of the acronym.
PR, what's happened here? How have they and we been so ineffective at communicating the realities there? And
we're on an intravenous feed of information with new impulses, inputs every millisecond. And of course, the way this is played out on social media has dominated the narrative. And you have a social media ecosystem environment in which context, history, facts get lost, and the emotion, the impact of images.
Ooh, the emotional impact of images, like that image we saw today of people wheeling a pile of dead children under a sheet along the street in a donkey cart after the recent mobilization in Rafah. Like that. Like those images were just being too emotional, you know? Like, you're just getting too emotional about these dead children, you know? Israel is truly just a paragon of righteousness because Hamas is bad, and so nothing Israel does can be bad if Hamas is bad, right? That is not how morality works.
Dominates. And we can't discount that. But I think it also has a very, very, very challenging effect on the narrative.
Yeah, a small parenthetical point, which is some wonder why there was such overwhelming support for us to shut down potentially TikTok or other entities of that nature. If you look at the postings on TikTok and the number of mentions of Palestinians relative to other social media sites, it's overwhelmingly so among TikTok.
This is why the Republicans want to axe TikTok, by the way. Even when they want to do something that's arguably a thing that will protect Americans' data and safety and national security, it's not because of any good reason. It's because they want to stymie a large platform in which a lot of pro-Palestinian advocacy is being spread.
Broadcast. So I'd note that's of real interest, and the president will get the chance to make action in that regard.
Dude, actually evil motivations. The admission is not exactly surprising. Republican Representative Mike Gallagher argued in November that the app was digital fentanyl, turning young Americans into Hamas supporters. Still, Romney's openness after supporters of the ban bleated about data security and privacy concerns for months is shocking. Romney's comments betray a general bipartisan disinterest in engaging Israel's conduct in Gaza on its own terms, preferring instead to complain about protesters, interrogate university presidents, and apparently muse about social media's role in boosting pro-Palestinian activism. As Israel moves closer to a catastrophic invasion of Rafah, this article's a couple days old. That catastrophic invasion of Rafah just happened. Having already banned Al Jazeera in the country, Romney and Blinken would be wise to consider whether TikTok is the real problem. Yeah. Yes, it is, Professor Lockatax. Yeah. So, as much as I think there's some merit to this TikTok ban, I don't really know where I stand on it overall, to be completely honest with you, which is surprising, I think. It's not very often which I come out of a situation like this with somewhat mixed opinions, but the Republicans most certainly have the wrong reasoning for this shit. Most certainly. Their reasoning is wrong. Even if the banning of TikTok ends up being a good thing. Good God. Obviously, I don't need to remind you. Can I bring back up that video from earlier? I know this is a whole different segment, so it might be useful to bring up. But that bad PR that Israel's doing, I'm curious how Romney would have liked this to have been handled by the PR team for Israel. You know, because what he's talking about right now is the fact that the Republican Party, or America, maybe, depending on how he means we, and Israel are not keeping the lid on the optics of their operations. I wonder how Romney thinks this should have been framed. This is footage from the yesterday, I believe, or the day before yesterday, perhaps, of the mobilizing of ground troops into Rafah. How should they have done this? How should they have framed this? I think Romney's mad that we saw this video at all. I think that's what he's mad about, that we got to see this video at all and know that it happened. Because there isn't really any way you can sugarcoat this, really. You can't sugarcoat this. It just is what it is. And if you see it, you see it. It's the same thing with Russia invading Ukraine. What matters the most is that you see the war crimes and you know they're happening. See these fucking tragedies. See what they're doing. See how despicable their conduct is with your own eyes. Hear exactly what they did. And that's what the Republicans and those that want to defend Israel are trying to stop. Your ability to see stuff like this. They want it to be nothing but what is filtered through to you by, ideally, Israel. They don't want you to see this. This is why Republicans want to ban TikTok, because videos like this spread on TikTok. Mind you, whoever this was recorded the video, so I don't know why I don't know if they thought that was going to make them look good to the wider world or something, but real nice play, I suppose. Real nice play. Why does only Romney seem to have some semblance of a conscience? Wait, no. No. Romney may have had some semblance of a conscience when he called out the Trump followers recently for, like, the border thing, but that was still Biden. That wasn't even him having a conscience there. It was just him not being hyper partisan. This was literally him getting mad that Israel doesn't have its optics on straight and that people are being allowed to learn about the war crimes. That's why he wants to ban TikTok, is because he doesn't like that pro-Palestinian, like, advocacy is spreading there, Emily Chertos. This is not Romney having a conscience, I promise you. It's the opposite of that. I think you might have misheard me. Regardless, though, I really am curious to hear what you think about all this. Comment down below whether you agree with me, disagree with me. I don't care. I'd like to hear what you have to say about it. It also boosts my channel and the algorithm when you guys comment, and if you want to help with that even further, consider dropping a like. Every single thumbs up goes a long way in the algorithm to push me out to new people, and I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to sub and ring the bell icon, of course, and if you want to see more from me, be sure to follow my social medias, which are all linked down below in the description. I really do appreciate it, and if you want to support me financially, directly, please consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me financially through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, StreamElements, Patreon, or buying merch through my Streamlabs link down below in the description. And of course, if you want to join my, hub of my fan base, you can always join my fan Discord, which is linked down below in the description. It's totally free, and I do pretty frequent call-in streams, game events, and watch parties, and I announce all my uploads and streams there, so if you have notifications on, you won't miss anything, even if YouTube is being weird. So yeah, I really hope to see you there, and I hope you enjoyed.